edition of Chamber South Spotlight. I'm Tiffany Hellberg. I am a proud member of the Chamber, and I'm also VP for Communications at Community Health of South Florida. And today, this is a very special Spotlight show because I have my colleague, Dr. Shaquan Chambliss-Huggins from CHI with me. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Shaq.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited about today.
Me too. Okay, so no way that I could remember your whole title because she does a whole lot at Community Health of South Florida. Tell us your title and your role.
All right. So I am the Director of Population Health and Clinical Integrative Services. I am both a family medicine and behavioral health practitioner here. I also oversee the Population Health Division, which does a lot with care gaps and clinical measures and clinical outcomes, ensuring that we meet these different quality measures, and that's what I do there at CHI.
Okay, that's a lot. Let's start with population health.
Sure.
Population health is a very special program. What does it mean for patients?
Population health is a very special program. So we have so many different clinical measures and so many different things that affect our community, affect just people in general, right? And their health, and as well as behavioral health and physical health, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm just kind of give you a little bit of background of what that is. You know, at a certain age, you got to get that colonoscopy done. You got to get that mammogram done. You also have to be able to ensure that you're getting your pap smears done by a certain age. Population health kind of ties all that in. We are ensuring that all these clinical outcomes and clinical measures are actually met. We have a lot of patients that need assistance, as well as us in general. Like, we all need assistance because our lives are busy. We forget. There's different things that need to be done by certain time frames.
We don't want to do it.
And we don't want to do it. We have that Cologuard box that kind of just sits there, and we know that we should be getting the colonoscopy, and we know that the time has passed, but we just don't do it. So we are that gentle, buzzing person in the ear, that bee that says, hey, these things need to be done. Because at the end of the day, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of treatment. So we need to just make sure that we're actually providing these preventative measures and ensuring that patients get these things done on time.
And you guys are making big changes on a whole company level because I see you've won quality badges and things like that. Can you tell us about some of those measures?
Oh man, we're super excited. So everyone will be upset if I don't mention that we have gone up tremendously in our colonoscopies and Cologuards, ensuring that we're doing our colon cancer screenings. We've also received a quality badge for diabetes. We're super excited about that. We are pushing a lot of different measures. We deal with a lot of elderly population as well. So there's a lot of things that we need to make sure that we're getting done. You know that hypertension and diabetes are extremely prevalent in our communities. So we want to make sure that that the hypertension measures are actually being met and done, as well as the diabetic measures. We want to make sure those A1Cs are completed. We want to make sure that the patient is actually taking their lipids and their statins to make sure that those levels are actually going down and going in the right direction. So it's a lot of work that goes into it, a lot of work that we put in behind it to ensure that our patients are getting the best possible care that they can get.
So kind of give us an overview of Community Health of South Florida, CHI. Who are we? What do we do?
Okay, we've been around since 1971. Our great Mrs. Doris Eisen was the original founder of CHI. We have evolved tremendously. We now have 13 health centers. Of the 13 health centers, we have 2 mobile units, both dental as well as our family medicine unit. We have our locations in the Keys. So we were known for just being South Dade, right? But now we have expanded out into the Keys, and we have 3 Keys locations, so North, Middle, and Lower Keys. So we have Key West. We have Marathon, and now our new state-of-the-art location that we moved from Tavernier, we're now in Key Largo.
That's pretty great. And then locations down south as well?
Everywhere. We have our South Dade location, our Naranja location, our main center, which is Doris Eisen, which is on 216th. That's in Cutler Bay. We have West Kendall. We have South Miami. We have a variety of locations. We are a one-stop shop for all your needs.
A one-stop shop, what does that mean?
We have everything. So it's almost like walking into the mall and you see Macy's, you see JCPenney's, you see Dillard's, you see all of these different shops. Well, we have radiology. we have behavioral health, we have radiology, we have family medicine, we have pharmacy services. We have 4 pharmacies at different locations. So our Doris Eisen, our Naranja, our Marathon location, as well as I'm missing one location, and it's going to come in our MLK location. So we have pharmacy locations as well. We also have our pediatrics. We have family medicine. We have, we have women's health, women's services. So there's a variety of different services that you can get all of your health needs met there. So when we're referring you out to say you need a mammogram, we can send you right down to radiology and you have that done. If we say you need laboratory services, we have labs there that we're able to have those drawn. So we're truly a one-stop shop. We try to encompass the entire being, the entire person. Your children are there. While your children are there, you're able to also get your needs met as well. So we are truly a one-stop shop.
That means a lot, especially for busy moms.
Absolutely. So one thing that I like to say, and I love to say, we look at the person as a whole, right? So oral health is extremely important. And I'm going to be honest with you, as a provider, I didn't recognize exactly how extremely important oral health was until I went to this huge conference, and that was one of the things that they talked about within the population health realm. And I look at our dental services. So while your kid is getting their shots, you can go get your teeth cleaned, you can go ahead and get your pap smear done. We can do it all.
Right, right. And I think what's very special about CHI is that everyone has access to high quality health care, regardless of whether you have insurance or not. We accept most insurances, but we also offer a sliding fee income-based scale for the person if they're uninsured, right?
We're truly a health system and not a clinic. So with the health system in mind, it's so true. You're able to get your sliding, function under the sliding fee scale. With that being said, we are able to have payment arrangements. There's so many different things. We want to ensure that if you want to get your health care taken care of, that we can be there to provide that health care.
I think one of the great things that I've learned from being around you guys at CHI is that so many of the different services that we offer are very interconnected, right? You do behavioral health, you do family medicine, but everything affects the whole body, right?
Absolutely. I'm very big on, and I've had this conversation with you in the past as it relates to treating the whole entire person, right? Because we are not segmented. Our bodies are not segmented in nature. So the way that you feel mentally is going to affect how you feel physically. How you're actually performing physically is going to affect how you feel mentally. So we can't treat you segmentedly. There's a lot of taboos in our community, right? And especially in our lower incomes or lower socioeconomic communities as it relates to mental health, right? The taboo against it, the stereotype that formulates against it. That's one thing that is very near and dear to me. I am very big on breaking those chains, breaking those stereotypes, and ensuring that we have access to quality health care.
And how do you get through to people who just believe that, I can tough it out. I don't need that.
You know what? There's a big difference between clinical depression, right, and depression. Like, everybody has the right to feel sad. Everybody has, we all go through things, right? But when it's something that's lingering and it's lasting more than 6 months, you're providing education to that patient because we're touching you at all aspects and all avenues, right? We're doing screenings. Even if you're going in for a dental cleaning, we're doing screenings to see about our treatment if you need to be able to get behavioral health access. We do that in our vision, and that was one of the other. We have optometry services. So we do these different screenings at different points and different specialties, and you're not even realizing that you're getting screening and that we're actually trying to assess how we can help you.
Tell us about the Children's Crisis Center that CHI is currently building and why it's so needed.
So, as Ms. Helberg said, I hold a lot of different titles, and one of them my previous title was the director of the inpatient crisis unit for the adults. So that was a very big title that I held near and dear to my heart, and being able to see the Children's Crisis Center come into fruition is amazing. These are services that we need. We are the first drop on the totem pole, the stop on the totem pole from our Keys location, right? And there's no children's crisis units or children crisis facilities all the way up until you get to Larkin. So there's a huge area that needs servicing. And that particular location gets filled so quickly. So we have these children that are sitting in our crisis unit that we keep separated from our adults, but it's not really conducive, and we have to sit and wait for a bed or for a placement for these children to go. So it does pull resources from our inpatient unit with the adults because we have to ensure that our children are separated. So this crisis unit is going to be huge. It is a big thing. It is a major thing, and I'm super excited because it's definitely something that we need in our community.
So not everyone knows what a crisis unit is.
Okay.
Explain that.
Absolutely. So when a person is going through a mental health crisis and they're having something that they may need assistance with, right? Usually they're a threat to themselves or a threat to others, suicidal, homicidal, etc. We want to ensure that these patients are getting the appropriate care and that they're becoming stabilized. So it's a crisis stabilization unit. So these individuals, they're usually, sometimes they come voluntarily, sometimes they come involuntarily. And for our adults within our crisis unit, we have a detoxification unit for benzodiazepines as well as alcohol. So there's a lot that goes on behind the closed doors of the crisis unit. So with that being said, we're providing these overlapping services, medical as well as mental health services, to get these patients stabilized, to get them back functioning and back to themselves. So that's what our crisis stabilization unit is for. And it doesn't only happen with adults, right?
Right.
Our babies and our children, they need assistance as well.
Yeah, great, great. So I'm fascinated, Dr. Shack, by your educational background because you have more degrees than I can count on one hand. Tell us about your degrees and why you chose to learn so much.
You know what? My parents, my mom and my dad, are my biggest cheerleaders. And my husband has put up with me getting the degrees after.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah, he's definitely put up with me, right? So, yes, I have a few PhDs, Health and Human Services, as well as another doctorate in clinical practice for nurse practitioner. I also have another degree for business, so a doctorate in business administration. It was actually a dual degree. In addition to that, master's in public health, master's in nursing. I have several bachelors. I have like 2 associates. So I've been in school a significant period of time. And the student loans match.
I'm tired just listening to you. That's cool. What would you want to tell people if they're like, I'm not sure, these are tough economic times, I need to reserve the cash that I have for other things? What would you tell people about ensuring that their preventative care is done?
Oh my gosh. As I said, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of treatment. So you have to look at it like this. Worst case scenario, you don't do your mammogram, right? And now it's 3 or 4 years that have passed since you've actually done the last one. You finally decide, okay, I'm going to pay the $10 copay or $5 copay, or sometimes there's no copay, or I'm going to take the time off now. And you, as parents, and we keep pushing our health aside to deal with everybody else, right?
Right.
So, and as a mom, we know this, right? Because we're always the one who is pushing our health aside.
That's right.
So now you finally get the treatment, and you finally get the screening. And now, instead of being a stage 1, it's a stage 4 with mets. It's metastasized, meaning it has spread to other areas, right? Taking that time for yourself, taking that 30-minute, an hour off from work, taking and paying that $5, or most time preventative services are free copays, it could have saved us a lifetime of treatment. And the clinical outcome measure speaks for itself when it comes to, patients who are found out different stages and later stages versus earlier stages and earlier treatment options. So I would say to that person, take that time. You are more than worth it.
Yes.
I'm very big on, stop putting aside your health to do everything else. Don't do that.
So with all you have going on, how do you have time for your personal life? Tell us about who you are and what you like to do when you're not saving
Other
the
than
world.
sleeping?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm a proud mom to my daughter, Jessica. She is a 17-year-old. And I'm saying that she's getting ready to be 18 soon. She's a senior in high school, so we know how that senior year goes, right?
I know it very well.
Very,
Lord
very.
help us.
Pray for us. It's so busy. So I am pulled into her between my sorority, Delta Sigma Theta, between Jack and Jill of America, it's between Order of Eastern Stars. I'm doing a lot of different things. So I always try to stay busy. My husband is really great about that. I love to travel, and typically I'm not traveling with him. It's usually with the girls because he's like, when I'm on vacation, that he's on vacation. So
Yeah.
he says that he's on vacation. So I'm an avid traveler. Absolutely love traveling.
That's cool.
And spending time with family. So, and reading. I'm an avid reader of medical journals because it's constant. It's ever evolving. It's
Right.
fluid. Medical knowledge does not stop. So you want a provider who actually keeps abreast and abroad of what's going on.
100%. Is there anything that I haven't asked you that is important to say today?
I would just definitely say that take your health seriously. Ensure that you're doing your preventative exams. Ensure that you are following up, be an advocate for yourself as well. No longer are the days that we don't speak with the patient and we don't have that conversation. One thing about Community Health of South Florida, I can say that the providers, my colleagues, are very big on having in-depth conversations with their patients and allowing them to have a voice because this is your health and we want you to be a part of your health journey and your health treatment and your health options, right? So I would definitely want to say that and just make sure that we're all aware, like mental health is real, physical health is real. We want to make sure that we are being comprehensive in all aspects.
Thank you for that. Comprehensive care at its best, all in one provider. Dr. Shaquan Chambliss-Huggins from Community Health of South Florida. It's been a joy to sit with you today.
Thank
you very much. And thank you all for joining us for this edition of